to how the day went. We read through the pause and ponders. We tried to get a sense of what you all took away from the day. And so we were just trying to figure out what was going on. So these are some of the critical incidents that we felt came up from yesterday. One was that, well, we just jumped right in. We jumped right into the writing. Janet started the day off yesterday with just get out your notebooks and let's get some writing done. We did lots of quick writes in the morning. And then we just jumped in the storyline in the afternoon. And that being something new to Janet and I in terms of facilitating that, but also new in terms of thinking about how to thread storyline through a writing project, which is very different from our experience last summer. And so we had no choice but to make a plan and jump in, and that's what we did. Some people were really comfortable with that, and some of us were less comfortable with that. The writing part, just jumping in the writing part and storyline we were comfortable. We created a safe space where people feel more comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Okay? The first day is sometimes always, even for me, is a little uncomfortable. I'm trying to, just get back into the flow of things, trying to leave the outside life at home and be mentally and physically present all the time. So we've tried to create a space where we're comfortable feeling uncomfortable.
And can I just say something about that uncomfortable? We keep thinking the loveliness of PowerPoint is its orderliness and it's there on your computer. But then you can't see it all the time. So like the Dewey quotes that Marcy put up, that sort of thinking about how uncomfortable is sometimes where you can't learn without a little bit of tension. Now, you don't want to be uncomfortable like, freezing or, there's certain uncomfortables that aren't helpful for learning. But just to sort of hold that thought, I'm not going to go into a dissertation on it, but just to think, what place does good uncomfortable have in my learning process? So I think, even though that sounds like, why would anybody want to feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable? That's sort of what we're trying to get you to maybe think about.
And even like to me, there's an ebb and flow of comfortable and uncomfortable. Like when we were doing the cubing yesterday, cubing is a slightly uncomfortable thing to me, just the name of it, because typically what follows that is poetry, and that makes me uncomfortable, like a dread of writing poetry. But just even going through some of those, the engagements within the cubing yesterday that we did, even some of you mentioned that, the first, where we were just describing what was in the picture, thinking about what wasn't in the picture, well, that went pretty well, but when it got to coming up with the story, that part was hard, or harder. So, even the comfortable and the uncomfortableness of that, so there's just always this ebb and flow of, feeling like, oh, okay, oh, okay, so it's almost like going down an up escalator, for me, where you're making progress, making progress, so forward momentum always, but sometimes you just feel a little uncomfortable. We also discovered new understandings about what memoir can be, or what it is about memoir and what it can be, right? What it can do for readers and how it lives in the world. We've learned a little about that. Another what was that photos and cubing as notebook work rekindled forgotten emotions and opened up new possibilities for noticing for many of us. So those were just a few of the whats. Now you'll notice that we also had some noticings about storyline, but ultimately we decided that that Janet and Gretchen and I would hold on to the storyline, what, so what, now what, and not kind of confuse it with just the generalness of the day. So that's why you don't have any storyline specific. And then another what was that not every cubing invitation was generative for everyone. Some of you got more out of the cubing exercise than others did, and that's the way all types of invitations are, really. So those were just some of the what. So that was the news. There were some of the critical incidents that happened yesterday. And what made them, how did we know that they were critical or that they were the news, was that they either said something specifically to us as the facilitators, or they came up in multiple pause and ponders yesterday. So we didn't just haphazardly pick news. It was something that was kind of a common theme throughout. So the so what then, and the so what, remember, is the thinking about, okay, so what did we learn as writers from those whats that we